Welcome to Hot Glass Tips number 4. In this video we're going to be talking about using your gas oxygen torch and how to light it and what have you. So let's first start by looking at the oxygen regulator. Okay, the oxygen regulator has two gauges and an adjustment knob. The inside gauge, this one here, measures the tank pressure. Right now it's reading 0, but once I open the tank valve, then it'll show the tank pressure. Now 250 cubic foot tank like these are will start out at about 2,000 psi, and I think this tank's about half full. And then the pressure will drop as oxygen is consumed. When it finally reaches 0, then it's time to switch tanks. The outside gauge measures the line pressure to the torch, and we set that pressure using this adjustment. For my torch I run about 10 psi. It really depends on your torch on the pressures, and so you ought to look at the instructions of what the operating ranges are for your specific torch. Anyway, this valve is controlled by a spring-loaded plate. I'll just take it off there and show you. That's inside here, and then as you screw it in, it presses the plate in and opens the valve. Now before you open the tank valve, you should first make sure that the line valve is closed and this knob moves freely. So it's in a fully closed position. If you have this open when you open the tank valve, it can damage the diaphragm in the regulator. So it's just take care of your equipment type of tip. So let's give it a shot here. First step, make sure that's closed. Open the tank valve. Looks like I had like 900 psi, so a little over half of it's used up. And then finally I'll adjust the pressure. That's about 10 psi there. Now we use the same process for the propane tank, except I've got natural gas, so I'm just going to turn the valve on. And but on a propane tank with the regulator and all that, the process is very similar to what we just did with the oxygen tank. Now when lighting the torch, we want to do it in a certain order. First we turn the gas on, ignite the gas, and then add the oxygen. And the order is important. The red knob, just like the red hose, is for gas, but the silver knob, or in some torches I think they are green, but here it's silver, goes with the oxygen. So I'll use the big burner. Turn the gas on, ignite it, and once you have that there, you can turn on the oxygen. From there you can adjust either one as needed to get the flame that you want. Now to shut down, you do it just the opposite. The first thing you do is you shut off the oxygen, and then you shut off the gas. And once again, the order is important. Now about the striker. I'm using a cigarette lighter. A lot of people don't like that. They think that you should use a striking tool. And the reason for that is because if you should get a hot piece of glass on that plastic and it burns through and ignites the butane, then you're going to have an exciting few moments. And truly that is a safety hazard. So just use some common sense. If you're going to use something like that, like a lighter or some other flammable thing like that, then after you lit your torch, make sure you take it and put it outside the hot zone, or you're not going to be getting something hot against it. You know, just use some common sense. Now let's talk about shutting down the tanks. This is very simple. All you do is you shut down, close the valve for the tank, and then close the line valve. Some people will tell you that you should bleed it off and what have you, but I don't bleed mine off. It'll bleed off by itself. And that's it. So hope you enjoy it and have fun and just be safe. Thanks.